Yo, what's good with y'all guys? I'm back at it with another video. Super excited about this one, to be honest. Um, Today, I'm just gonna go into the topic of having a new perspective on things. So yeah, let's get into it, yo. So it's like this, man. Um, it's your choice what type of perspective you want to have on the current situation, right? Let me give you an example, right? So, say you're in a drought, right? You ain't getting no play. You know, every, the world seems to be against you, type shit. And to be honest, like it just feels empty, right? It feels like you have no options. It feels like you're going nowhere. You're just stuck in one place, right? Yeah, newsflash, I've been there. A lot of other people have been there, right? And to be honest with you, it's about shifting the mentality and the perspective, right? So if, you know, if your mentality is, yo, I don't have enough options, is it really you don't have enough options? Or is it the fact that you don't have enough quality options, right? And what do I mean by that is like, options are everywhere. I was just having this talk about about this like the other day with a friend of mine, right? And I was telling him like, yo, jobs are everywhere, right? You just have to play the numbers game. So for example, right, I used the 10% rule when I was looking for a new job, right? So 10% means like I apply to 100 jobs, 10 of them are guaranteed to respond to me, and out of those 10, I'm gonna get maybe like 3 offers or something, right? And or 3 interviews, and out of those 3, I just need one to say yes. Boom, that's it. All right. Um, but what you need to understand is, that works great in the beginning, right? To get notches under your belt. I don't care if it's romantic partners. I don't care if it's job wise. I don't care about none of that. If it is any one of those things, like, listen, man, you know, do what you gotta do to get those first few experiences in. But after that, filter what you want and what your standard is for the way you want to live. Because at the end of the day, you are the one that's in control, right? It's your life, your choices, and not anybody else's. Not your mother's, not your father's, not your grandmother's, not your fucking, best friends, not your sister, not your cousin, not your teacher, not anybody but you. Listen to that. Not anybody but you dictates how you want to live, right? The type of lifestyle you want to have. The type of people you want to influence, the type of people you want to have as your friends. That's up to you, right? If you have a problem throwing the deuces up, that's your first starting point that you should work on. Being able to like say no and peace out of certain situations. Like I remember I was going out with a girl a couple weeks ago, right? Was it a couple weeks ago? I don't even remember. Anyway, right? And so the energy was off. Like, don't get me wrong, she's a nice person, this and that, but the logistics weren't there, and she wanted me to work way harder than I'm willing to, and willing to invest, right? Like, for me, you gotta bring something to the table, right? And in terms of that, like, she needs to understand, like, the feminine role, the masculine role, right? The different polarity between the two, right? The fact that she should be on her shit and working towards herself, right, and then having her shit together, right, as I do too, right. Like I expect equal treatment, right. Anyway, that's besides the point. So the idea is that you need to filter what your options are with anything, with business partners, with partnerships, with collaborations, if you're in the business mindset, with jobs, right? With romantic partners, with sexual partners. Like I swear, I was supposed to be hooking up with this girl, right? And I remember like waking up one day, right? on the day of, I'm just like, nah, your energy seems off. Like, I don't want to do it. Personally, it's just not for me. Uh, and yeah, that's it. She was like, what the fuck? Why? But I'm just like, bro, your energy's off. I'm not feeling it. My energy seems to be off as well. Right? So it's just like, you know, why bother? I don't want to fuck up my energy, right? And I'll do a new video on this like later on. But yeah, having that filter of what you're willing to take versus not willing to take, and being able to have that abundant mindset is really key towards your happiness. Because if you're just doing things to compromise, and if you're just doing them to make others happy or just like get by type thing, like I said, that's good for a while, right? But in order to build that foundation and that key, you really need that filter, right? So yeah, next point I want to touch up on is needs versus urges or wants, right? And I think it's pretty safe to assume, like, all of us like give up into urges and desires, right? But having a long-term perspective, right? But still being present in the moment is actually more important than just giving into those urges. So the way I can put it is, enjoy the moment, enjoy the present. Don't be thinking like, oh, what's gonna happen here and this and that and nah. Hey, no, but seriously, don't be over analyzing every possible move, right? Personally, I have a tendency of overdoing that, but that's just my nature, right? I'm trying my hardest to work hard on that, right? So, that's personally me, but yeah, always like have an overall end goal, right? And at the same time, don't overthink the steps to be there, right? So let me give you an example. So say, I don't know, I want to buy a Ferrari in like, 5 years, right? Well, how much does a Ferrari cost? It costs like 300,000, used, whatever. Okay. So that means if I divide 300,000 by 5, that means what? 40, 50? 50,000 per year. Okay. So I need to allocate 50,000 per year in order in 5 years to buy a Ferrari, right? Okay. So then I got to think, okay, what's 50,000? That's like what? $5,000 a month, right? So somehow I got to make sure I pull $5,000 a month. Okay. So now I know I need to pull $5,000 a month. I think of maybe like 3 income sources that I need to do it. If I can do it from one, even better, right? And then I pull that $5,000. Boom! In 5 years, I have that Ferrari, whatever, right? I'm just using a Ferrari for simplicity's sake to explain the point. But that doesn't mean, oh, okay, I'm micro-analyzing how am I going to get the first source of income? How am I going to speak to this client? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Like, that shit should just flow naturally, When shit doesn't flow naturally, you can either stop and think, okay, this is how I need to change as, like, in a broad sense, right? But you don't overanalyze every step of the way, right? If you overanalyze every step of the way, you're going to fuck up your mental. You're going to fuck it up so bad, right? This is from a person that overanalyzes everything, right? Trust me, you don't want to do that. You don't. Nah. And so, with that being said, this brings me to my next point is what needs to be done versus what you feel in the moment that is important, right? So if you feel like, okay, I need 50 grand right now, well, do you actually need it? Or do you, maybe can hold off on it for a little bit and bring it in from multiple sources, right? I'm giving money here as an example, but this can be done with anything, right? Do you actually need a relationship right now? Do you actually need a relationship? Do you actually need that girl to give you head right now? Sloppy toppy, boom, boom. right? Do you actually need it right now? Are you constantly dependent on that feeling, right? Or can you slow down a little bit? Slow down, take it easy, right? Take it easy and just focus on yourself, focus on bettering yourself, and naturally attracting the right type of people and the right type of opportunities, right? What needs to be done versus what feels right. You know, that's so key that I don't think most people understand this. You know, which brings me to my final goal. Well, last 2 points is what is your end goal and what is the priorities to get there, right? So, you know, what are you trying to achieve? Like, what do you want out of this life? How do you want, you know, your life to pan out? I know oftentimes it doesn't, but at least it's good to have an overall general idea of what you want, right? So, you know, with that being said, learn what you want from an overall perspective and make your priorities, whatever you want to work on, priorities. Make them priorities. You know, make them priorities, and kind of build a structure around that, right? But in a way that it builds into your lifestyle. So let me, you know, if I want a better body, I do. Okay, great. I'm gonna go and head to the gym 3 times a week. You know, at that point it's not overexhausting. My muscles still have time to recover, but at the same time, I could still work, I could still socialize, I could still eat, like this and that. Like, even when it comes to the gym, I had friends ask me, yo, like, how do you stay so, like, fit and only put on muscle and not fat? And I'm like, because I cut out the bulking and fucking trimming down bullshit. Like, I stay lean all year round, and I know, even though I might not look big at a certain moment, whatever, you know, mass I'm putting on, I know for a fact it's pure muscle because of the style of my training, how it is, and you know how I structure my program, right? And then just sticking to that structure and executing it, you know, day in, day out, and not making any excuses for it, having that discipline and that mindset to keep, you know, pushing forward, right? So in terms of the priorities, you gotta reverse engineer your mindset, you know, from what it is and shift it into what you want it to be. All right. So I hope, you know, y'all found some value into this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. And take it easy. Ciao.